When working with latitude and longitude, there are two different ways that degrees can be represented. In this lecture, we will be talking about converting between the two representation of degrees, minutes, and seconds, or DMS, and decimal degrees. First, let's go over notation. For degrees, minutes, and seconds, we use the notation, degree symbol, an apostrophe for minutes, and a quotation mark for seconds. Since there is no unit smaller than seconds, they will sometimes have a fractional portion, or in other words, seconds will sometimes be decimal seconds. For decimal degrees, we simply use the degree symbol, and the number can have a decimal if needed to show the fractions of a degree. Now the units of minutes and seconds might be new to some of you, so we'll go over their values here. Just as with seconds of time, there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. There are also 60 minutes in 1 degree. It's then just a simple matter of multiplication to see that there are 3,600 seconds in 1 degree. Armed with this info, we are now ready to convert between decimal degrees and degrees, minutes, and seconds. First, we'll show you the general process, and then we'll work through some examples. When converting from degrees, minutes, and seconds to decimal degrees, the degrees portion remains unchanged. The minutes and seconds portions together will make up the decimal. Since there are 60 minutes in a degree, we divide the minutes by 60 to determine the fraction of a degree that this represents. Similarly, since there are 3,600 seconds in a degree, we divide the seconds by 3,600 to determine the fraction of a degree that this part represents. These three portions, all now being in degrees, can simply be added together to give us our decimal degrees. Let's work through a simple example. Remember, the degrees portion will simply drop down unchanged because it was already in degrees. To convert the 15 minutes into degrees, we divide by 60, which gives us 0.25 degrees. To convert the 30 seconds into degrees, we divide by 3,600, which gives us 0.0083 degrees. Now we simply add all three values together, giving us 12.2583 degrees. Let's look at one more example. 36 degrees, 4 minutes, and 35.2 seconds is the approximate latitude of Fayetteville, Arkansas. The 36 degrees remains unchanged. The 4 minutes is divided by 60, giving us 0.0667 degrees. And the 35.2 seconds are divided by 3,600, giving us 0.0098 degrees. Adding these three parts together, we get 36.0765 degrees. Now we'll show you how to go the other way, that is, convert from decimal degrees to degrees, minutes, and seconds. Like before, the whole degrees portion remains unchanged and can be dropped straight down. The fractional portion needs to be converted into minutes and seconds. We do this by multiplying this portion by 60. Because there are 60 minutes in every degree, we converted this from a fraction of a degree to minutes. Now that our number is in minutes, we can take the whole minutes portion, similar to what we did with degrees above, and drop it down into the minutes slot. This fractional portion can then be converted into seconds by again multiplying by 60. We multiplied by 60 here, rather than 3,600, because we were already in minutes, and there are only 60 seconds in each minute. Because there is no unit smaller than seconds, we have to deal with the decimal portion here. We can either round up to a whole number, or simply keep the decimal. We'll start with an easy example. The whole degrees, in this case 40, will drop down unchanged. The 0.5125 needs to be multiplied by 60 to convert it to minutes. This gives us 30.75 minutes, of which the 30 portion can drop down into the minutes slot. The 0.75 will again be multiplied by 60 to convert it into seconds, which gives us 45. So 40.5125 degrees is the same as 40 degrees, 30 minutes, and 45 seconds. We'll do one final example. This one's a little trickier. Negative 94.1608 degrees is the longitude of Fayetteville, Arkansas. The negative 94 drops straight down. We multiply the remaining 0.1608 degrees by 60 to give us 9.648 minutes. The 9 drops down into the minutes slot, and the remaining 0.648 is multiplied by 60 to give us 38.88 seconds, which we will round up to 39.